Hey guys, welcome back to another speed build. For this map I'm going to be building an airport. I never planned this to be a project I would be working on this month, but after seeing the likes on the comment that was left on my last video, and after experimenting with the new lighthouse gallery to create a plane, I felt like I should just go for it. With all that being said, let me guide you through the process of how I built an airport. Like I said in the intro, this all came about from me experimenting with the lighthouse gallery to see if it was even possible to build a plane. The first one I built was a small private jet with a full interior. After seeing that it was possible to create a plane with my small scale test, I focused on creating a larger passenger jet based on a 787. The nose of this plane was by far the hardest part of the plane to get right. Using a combination of the snowballs from the snowman gallery and a quarter circle piece from the lighthouse gallery, I managed to get the nose just right in the end. After finishing the exterior shell of the plane, I wanted to give it an interior. I used a lot of the new assets we got in the yacht gallery to achieve this, creating a first class section and an economy class section to add some variety to the plane's interior. Finally, after finishing the plane templates, I broke them down into several smaller parts that each contained less than 100 props, so I could copy them to my quickbar and rearrange the plane in different positions. Now that they were broken down, it also meant that they could easily be exported to my airport map. Now that I have the planes finished, I can start planning out my airport. From this ridiculously bad Microsoft Paint sketch, you can see how I want the runway to be placed diagonally, so it can be as long as possible, and to have the airport on the left side with the road and mountains behind it. Keeping this plan in mind, I start building the foundations for this map, building the runway, its various connecting paths, and finally marking out where I want the airport to go. Once I had that finished, I add the various markings that go on the runway, making sure they are accurate by looking at pictures of runways I found on Google Images. I want this airport to be as unique as possible, so I decided to come up with a complicated main structure with an open plan design that would house the various facilities that you would usually find in an airport, such as the security check-in and baggage collection areas. I don't think you can find a roof more unique than this in Fortnite Creative right now, especially since it's built completely off-grid. Next up was adding the two terminals at either side of the main building, and then connecting them to the front of the airport. Once I finished this, I proceeded to complete the layout of the airport by adding in the interior floors and stairs along with the facade at the main entrance of the airport. Working on the road approaching the airport was quite tricky, as I did not have much space to work with as the map barrier was right next to the airport. However, I worked with the space I had and managed to wrap the road around the airport and even included a small parking space at the front. To fill in the space between the road and the map barrier, I decided to put a cliff face there. I then had the road end at either side of the cliff. However, I had a minor setback while building the cliff, which had me remove all of it, as the rock assets I was working with were broken and caused a slight purple glow to appear on them. So I quickly got rid of all the rocks that I'd placed and replaced them with the new ones. I got this all done in about 45 minutes. Now that the main bulk of this map was finished, I could start working on the interior of the airport. Here you can see me create the different areas in the airport, starting with the security check, where I again used a lot of the newer props that were added in Season 2. I then started working on the baggage collection area, where I decorated the top of the baggage carousel with plants and a fountain. For hungrier passengers, I created a Durburger restaurant which can be accessed through the duty free. Speaking of the duty free, no airport would be the same without it, so obviously I had to include it. There are two shops here along with loads of seats where passengers can wait to board their flight. Before I go adding the planes to the map, I decided to make some airport vehicles to make the airport feel more alive. To achieve this, I also had to create two custom vehicles, which were a mobile luggage conveyor belt and a baggage transporter. Next thing I had to do before adding in the planes was to build the air gates which will connect the plane to the terminal. Then finally I copied over the passenger jet and placed it so it lined up with the air gate, and then pasted in various airport vehicles around it. I then added the private jet and some of the airport path markings that I had missed earlier. And then finally, to finish up, I added the passenger jet taking off from the runway. Now I would have called the project complete at this stage, but this empty area opposite the airport was really annoying me. So to bring some depth to that area, I decided to create a hangar with some helicopters that I had built for the Evolve Red Cross map placed inside it. I also created a separate building connected to the hangar, some solar panels and a small mountain with trees growing at its base behind the hangar. With that section complete, the airport was finally finished. There are currently 2 island codes available for this map. The first is an airport simulator where you have to go through the whole procedure of checking in your luggage and going through security, etc. The next map code is an exploration mode where you can just fly around and look at the map. The map that I'm featuring in today's video that I found on my Discord server is Battle for Helms Deep by Taaazy. It's an attack and defend game mode where the attackers have to break through 3 gates in order to win. The code for this map will also be in the description if you want to go check it out. If you want to be featured in the next video, just join my Discord server and submit your maps. Link is in the description. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Feel free to follow me on my Instagram, the link to which is also in the description. And leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of my speed builds. That's it for me. See you in the next video.